Aw, look at this cute dog. Y'all wouldn't believe the role he plays in malicious compliance. Make sure y'all stay to the end. It's gonna be a good one. Hey, what's up guys, it's Breezy Reads, back with another Reddit reading for y'all. Today we'll be reading through the hilarious and outrageous post from the subreddit of malicious compliance. Malicious compliance is when someone follows a rule or request to the letter, but in a way that intentionally causes problems for the requester. So get ready to laugh, cringe, and shake your head in disbelief as we explore the world of passive resistance. A hair in your food? Don't worry, I'll make it. This one comes from my boyfriend's dad. He's a general manager at Applebee's. Customer comes in, sits down with their family, has a nice meal. They call someone over and complain of hair in the food. My boyfriend's dad, the GM, comes over and asks what the problem is. The customer repeats that there was a hair in their food and demands a fix. Now, my boyfriend's dad has been in the business a long time. He knows this trick like the back of his hand. So, he looks at her in the eye and says, "Don't worry ma'am, I'll make it." He's bald. The lady was dumbfounded and tried to backpedal, but to no avail. He remade the meal and served her, and then set the bill down. Trying to cop free food? That sucks for you. Can y'all imagine how heated the lady was? I bet she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm about to pull a big one on them. They gonna give me free food." And just for the dude to come over and be like, "No, don't worry, I'll remake it for you." And she look up at his shiny, bald, Mr. Clean head, knowing that she's gonna have to pay full price. Man, I just sit there and cry, honestly. I have to pretend to be you? Basically, 15-year-old me was bullied back and forth into doing homework for other people and having people copy off my tests. I know people will say, "Why didn't you stand up for yourself?" But reality is, counselors in our school would pull a Bible verse on you and call it a day, and tell you, you need to pray more. Such is misery. So yeah, one time, one of the kids who basically pretended to be my friend for good grades was always missing from class. Skipped school the whole, "I'm sick and I hate it here," and she refused to come in. She missed so many exams because of it. Teachers had adjusted to her behavior, and somehow, after school makeup exams or special exams were given to those who missed them. She begged me to go in for one, which was being proctored by a sub who didn't recognize me as myself. So I got into her seat, wrote her name, and failed the exam for her. A perfect 0%. It didn't stop her from other bullying things, but I made sure that exam reflected what she learned in class. Absolutely nothing. It really is unfortunate that it didn't stop her from using you entirely, but at least you got your little win, you know. She got a 0 on this one exam. I can feel good about that. And honestly, I would feel good about it too because, bro, you're not gonna be using me and expect to get good grades all the time. Leave me alone. I don't know if y'all know how frustrating it is to have somebody always ask for answers from you, but literally, I just used to be like, do the work. It's not that difficult. Just do your work, please. Everything you bought stays in the house? Okay. Roommate and I are moving out of our house we lived in with my ex. His parents owned the house and gave us our eviction notice, which we knew was going to happen, but the final date being a month earlier than we previously agreed upon. He's been staying 2 hours away with his parents and decided to move down there. Tenant will not remove the Google Nest as it was bought by the property owner. And hopefully they mean his, that he bought and never cared to set up, and not mine, a Christmas gift for my sister and brother-in-law. But you want the things he bought? Okay, here, have half my wardrobe, and a bath mat. And I'm taking back my few items as well. I noticed in your absence your drawer of snacks reeks of mold. That sucks, but you bought it, so I'll leave it. My shoes a size and a half too small for you? Take them. A monthly pill organizer when you refuse to be medicated? Too bad. BPD survival guide? With your attitude, maybe you'll need it more than me. Take all these Star Wars books about characters you don't care for, these hangers and loose paper clips. A fan, blankets for a bed smaller than yours. Random covers for cushions you don't have anymore that I was going to repurpose. I'm scrounging through every box I've already packed and setting out everything he bought that I didn't, including food that I'll leave in the fridge/freezer for him. I was going to be polite, but now that's less work for me. Yeah, these people definitely deserve it, especially if you're going to move the date that they have to move out up by a month. See, that's just wrong, and they know it's wrong. So whatever they find in the house after she leaves, they deserve. Including that wardrobe of clothes that they probably don't need. And me personally, if I'm a girl getting kicked out, I'm leaving the lingerie you got for me too. Have fun talking with your parents about that. You only want men? Okay. I used to work for a temp agency. We specialized in labor and construction work, but really if I had notice I could recruit for any type of work. We had customers that often needed workers with different skills and tickets, and some customers were just downright misogynistic. One customer called later in the morning and said he needed 2 workers and would only accept men. I explained that due to timing I didn't have many workers available at short notice, but I have 2 women available that are very seasoned and strong with great work ethic. He declined, so I sent him the other 2 men I had in the office who were 2 of the laziest workers I had, hence why they were not already dispatched. The customer called me at the end of the day and said he needed 2 workers again tomorrow, but not those 2 as they were horrible. I again offered the ladies and said how they had been praised for past work. He begrudgingly agreed. The next day he called and said how they were some of the best workers he ever had. They ended up working for him for 3 months and he eventually hired them. I have no idea why this guy insisted on men even though he was told that some of the best workers in the office were there right then, but hey man, I'm not one to judge. At least he learned from his mistakes and picked them up later. You know, if I'm calling a work agency, I probably really need the workers, so hey, I'll take whatever you can give me, even if it's women. You know, I might even take kids. Child labor is some of the best labor you'll get. Those little guys are cheap, they work for Capri Suns and Lunchables. I mean, that sounds like a great deal to me. Park the office cars closer together? Okay. So we have 3 office cars for my job. 2 are newer, hybrid SUV and hybrid Toyota, and 1 is an old piece of crap Honda that no one likes driving, so it mostly just sits and collects dust. The hybrids park across from one another, noses facing. One of the higher ups likes to nitpick the most random stuff, and me being admin assistant, I get to do the stupid tasks that he can't be bothered with, like putting paper in the copier when it runs out, which actually his boss has given him crap about just doing himself because I was busy with other things, and I'm in the middle of doing something else. On a few occasions, he's asked me to go into our parking garage and move the cars closer together, because allegedly someone doesn't pull close enough for him to get out, even though none of us have that issue. He also pulls the SUV like a foot over the line, making the other car not able to pull in fully. So last week, I was feeling extra malicious after him saying I needed to go get him 2 dozen cookies for his meeting starting in 30 minutes. Mind you, it's 2 p.m. He could have easily asked earlier that morning when I had time. On my way back in, I made sure to pull the Toyota as far forward as possible. It even has one of those "you're too close" beep sensors that I totally ignored. Of course, the SUV is also like a good foot over the line, so this is extra fun. I came in the next morning to the back staff laughing and passing a phone around. It's a picture of the 2 hybrids so close together that you can barely fit a piece of paper between the bumpers. I just shrug and say, "Guy likes them parked that way. I'm just doing as I told." They have not stopped laughing about it all this week, and the guy hasn't asked me to move any of the cars or run last minute stupid errands since. I cannot stand people who are like this. Like, bro, we all work at the same company. Can we please just help each other out a little bit? You are no better than me. You can also put in copier paper. Literally, just help out. Stop being so useless. Nobody likes you. Benefactor of a malicious compliance got me a first-class upgrade. Yes, I know people have legitimate allergies. Don't nitpick this story. The woman may have had allergies, but they only popped up when it was convenient. This was in 2000. I was traveling with my service dog and family. We had seats in the back of the plane. At the check-in, entitled business class ticket holder Karen spotted my service dog, went up to the desk and demanded we be bumped off the flight because she was highly allergic to dogs. She began wheezing, sneezing, and gasping on cue. Side note, we had been sitting within 2 feet of her for over an hour. My dog was under my chair, as he was trained to do. She spotted him when he came out to get water. The CSR stated that he would be happy to bump her to a later flight. Karen pitched a fit, forgetting she needed to cough, wheeze, and sneeze. Karen requested a supervisor. Supervisor came, listened to her, and stated that if she wanted to stay on this flight, they would do everything in their power to move the seating so that my dog was as far away from her and her family as possible. She happily agreed. She and her family got moved to the back row. My family got put in the empty first class where my dog got his own seat. Yes, they covered the seat with a blanket and I put my coat on it as well to keep the fur off. Well, that's the happiest ending that could have happened to this story. Everybody in her family, including the dog, got a first class seat. I don't know why the lady kept complaining. I'm just glad the workers were feeling malicious so that she got what she deserved. Short, sweet, and utterly predictable. Once upon a time, there was a director of security at a US bank. Dear director decided that if he micromanaged his rent-a-cops a little more, they'd be the Secret Service agents of which he wished he was still in charge. He decided that he wanted every work order submitted in the bank's footprint to be organized into one of 3 completely undefined categories and reported directly to him. We were given these instructions on Friday, and what followed was, what I can only assume, was malicious compliance on a regional scale. The policy has been rescinded in an email from our manager. Quote of the email: The higher-ups failed to realize how many work orders get input on a daily basis. It lasted about 2 business days. Victory screech! Malicious compliance comes in many sizes, and unfortunately this manager had to experience it on a regional scale. Can you imagine getting like 20,000 emails? Oof, wouldn't want to be him. And that's a wrap on our exploration of malicious compliance. I hope you enjoyed reading through some of the funniest and most creative examples of passive resistance found on the internet. If you have your own story of malicious compliance, please share it with me in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more entertaining and informative videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.